What up, chat? How you guys doing? What up, Miss K, Brandon, Ron? How you guys doing tonight? I was trying to get stream up like 4 minutes ago, but OBS was bugging out for some reason. What up, 2IP? What up, Simon? How we doing? I'm doing wonderful. What up, Brandon? What up, Praga? What up, Calm and Hysteric? How y'all doing? I'm gonna start the normal poll, and I feel like it's gonna be clear as day, one direction. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm torn on that answer. It was good, Toasted. Did I trade New York today? I took one smaller trade on gold with spreads earlier in the session when gold was holding around, I think, like this area-ish. I took spreads for like end of the week because gold was pushing back above the prior day's highs, looking like it was going to hold this 38 or 39.8. I didn't like the way we closed end of day, so I just closed them at like minus 17%, I think, somewhere around there. But yeah, that was the only thing I took from New York other than the trade last night. I locked myself out of futures. We had a good day. No point in risking on it. I'm very torn on the current market and where we're sitting. Because, I mean, do these charts look bearish? Yes. Every single aspect of these charts looks bearish. Except the fact that we already spiked lower. But if you look at the hourly, the thing I'm looking at is something similar to yesterday. The problem is the hourly is not as clean for it. But I wouldn't hate a retest of this and then look to push back lower after that, like 495s. But my problem is like the hourly, can we erase this bar? 100%. We already spiked below yesterday's lows. We hit last week's lows. Does the chart broad structure look bearish? Yeah. I mean, if you followed what we talked about yesterday, today, what we wanted was a rally to give us more of an ugly inside bar if we wanted to be short. That's exactly what we got. Big rally, sold all the way back off, closed at the lows. Bearish ass chart. If we get below yesterday's lows. Today's lows. Huge if. And I like just looking at it, it looks weak, but for some reason, like my gut thinks it's too early for a short. So it may just be a day of being patient or attempting a similar long to yesterday. But either way, that's going to need patience. What up, Arch? What up, AJ? Rav, Most Fab, Song. Find it so hard to find conviction to long this chart. I see that, Brandon. The bigger thing for me is just structurally. Obviously, NQ is weaker. Still hasn't been able to break this 28,700s. If we break 28,700s, yes, bearish. If we break 74.75, which was our level from yesterday, bearish. 100%. While we're above that, we're at larger supports, holding. And like I said, does the chart look weaker? Yes. If we get back below yesterday's lows. If we get conviction back below 76s on ES or back below 710s on NQ, I am all for shorting and being wrong on a trade if I end up taking a long stab. But even looking at this hourly chart, and here's my question. If this is a 5-minute chart, at least based off the way I trade, would I be interested in shorting the close of this candle? Not really. What would I want the way I trade? Give me that little bit of a pullback. Give me up to maybe 95s. Watch how we react. And my hesitation already, I can see the market moving. So I was very, very tempted to stab long down there, but I'm being patient on it. But give me this on the hourly. Give me a lower high to short. That's what we wanted yesterday. We wanted this lower high to short. Eventually, it worked a little bit. Couldn't get broader continuation until obviously we broke the recent highs and failed. But I can't get myself, if this is a 5-minute chart, to short right here. It doesn't make sense in my head. So I'm going to have to be very patient on broader shorts. But I think there's an easy chance we stay within this range. Because similar to what we talked about yesterday, give us a few days of consolidation. Because that's a huge support below us. Worst case, what this patience will do is just prevent me from being aggressively short and getting stopped. Because this chart right here on this 5-minute would have been overly easy to short. I'm sure some people in chat were short. Probably got stopped there. Structurally, this is perfectly fine. For me, it's the fact that, once again, we held last week's lows. Couldn't even get below it, so we have clear defense right there from the bulls. We're already back above today's lows, which, in all honesty, once again, if this was a 5-minute chart or any time frame, the second we break this, we do not want to see back above it. Because when what should happen, which is a breaking continuation, anticipate the opposite. We broke, couldn't even get an extra 6 points out of it to break last week's lows. And now we're kind of starting to push back higher. So short-term thesis, believe it or not for me, even before stream, is leaning a little bit to the upside. I really wish I got an entry around 75. So for now, we'll be a little patient, see what structure does. But it's kind of hard for me to short right here. When you mark yesterday's lows, is it from the Asia session? Yes. All of my futures charts are on a 23-hour time frame. What up, Finch? What up, Logan? But yeah, chat, it's very hard for me to short right this second. Am I open to it later if we get an aggressive rally? Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Appreciate you, Maxwell. I know there's going to be a lot of people that hop in because we're only at 92 so far, and I just went over a lot of the sauce I'm looking at today, unfortunately. But they can always rewind a few minutes and we can dive back into it later. Very high time frame, bearish. I'll agree to disagree on that, Logan. I will. Similar to yesterday, if you look at the daily chart, is it bearish? We have bearish candles. We do. Structurally, we broke below this low within this consolidation, but we're still within a range. You go to the weekly chart, we are once again another inside bar. This might have tested a point higher or so, but still technically within the candle for a mass majority of it. This candle so far hasn't broken last week's lows. If we break below 74.70s, yes. This chart is freaking bearish. Just on the shorter time frame, though, because we are still, once again, within a weekly range. Now, if you're looking at the NASDAQ, different structure. However, it's still within a broader weekly range here. I'm not overly bearish on the market, and I will not be until we get a clear structure change on it. Am I willing to short? 100%. But until there's too many people that are overly aggressively short, and I get it because of everything that's going on, stuff like that. Market's been selling off a lot. All that means right now is bears are present. But what we're waiting for is, are they strong enough to actually break the floor? If they don't break the floor, nothing matters. All it's going to do is bring in volatility, give us a lot more potential for trades. AJ, I don't have an EMA on this chart. So now I can actually say none. I used to have EMAs on the chart, but I never used them. They were just visual. From the beginning of the stream, did anyone catch along? Appreciate you, Toasted. What up, good boy NQ? What up, Logan? Secured that 300-point bag, almost made it. Hell yeah, XP. Yeah, Zay, my problem is I was very eager to long this area, but I felt like I was too eager to long it. My overall thesis was correct. I mean, right out the gate, I said I put up a poll in the chat. I said I have a feeling I know which way this is going to lean, but I feel like I'm sitting on the other side. And it worked so far. What's about secrets? I got in longs on Russell. Hell yeah, Praga. Trading Russell during this time period is diabolically crazy. Just absolutely insane, but it works. The only thing I hope is that gold chills out, because at some point, I think gold can make a really aggressive move. And if it does, I want to be in options for it. But it's crazy. I feel like a lot of majority of traders out there are very, very eager to short. Just a broader short, where for right now, I'm more eager to catch longs off these supports until proven otherwise. But also, I can see shorts on a day like today. I didn't trade New York. Y'all saw my only futures trade in the last 24 hours. Actually, in the last 3 days because of the weekend. Yesterday. Kind of chilled tonight. Just activated the funded. Zay, I'm similar. Like, I'm eager to trade just because I love trading. But I have a funded 1 day away from a payout. And to get that payout, I mean, I need like $1,100. So I'm either going to catch a really nice trade, but I'm not going to size aggressive on it, or just catch multiple trades over the next few days. See the banger I caught of the OP retest on New York. OP retest on a short around here, probably. If so, beautiful trade. Hell yeah, brother. I really wish I got that. We'll see if we get another entry for it. But that would have been a really tight stop. Tight stop for, I mean, at the open would be 1.5. If we got any higher, like that 95s area, would be like 4-1. Hell yeah, Ledger. I know you guys are always talking on the trading floor. Zay, how the hell did you needed $3 and ended up in $500 of drawdown? Are you fucking kidding me? But no, I mean, because I did, like I said, I did post spreads about gold in the Discord, and I feel like people think I'm delusional for it, because looking at this chart does look weak. The reason I got out of them is the daily failed to go higher, even though it could be a consolidation day. I'd rather wait for tomorrow to get in. But as long as we hold this on gold, I'm interested in longs. Am I stabbing longs on futures aggressively every day? No, I don't even trade gold on futures. But I'm interested in like option spreads. Also, upside options. And here's another reason. For those of you that are not in Discord that don't know, I'll show you like what I took. Like I said, I'm flat on them, not in them anymore. But there was a whole thesis around the trade. So we have the broader structure of gold. And this is where I love to capitalize on options when I can. So we have a clear as day support here. if this support holds, the ATR of the last 30 days right now is $8, right? If we got that move, that puts us up around 75s, maybe a little higher. And that's 1 day ATR, not multiple. Yeah, XP, we'll run a giveaway today if you guys like the stream. That puts us around like 75s. I had the 75-80 weekly spreads for 75 cents. If we got 1.5 the ATR throughout the next, it would have been 5 trading days because I took it around the open. That would have been $75 to $5 on those contracts, which is why I was willing to take that risk off the daily support. I'm still open to trading it, but I'm cash on gold right now until I get a little more conviction. So that would have been what, like 700% on that if it worked? Chat, we can get to 150 thumbs up, which shouldn't be hard. We'll see how many people hop on the night, but it should be fairly easy for you guys. We'll run a giveaway. What's a debit spread? I don't want to dive too deep into it just because this is obviously primarily about futures and trading those. But it's you buy a naked call and then sell a naked call at a higher strike. You get the premium return in between it. If it hits the high contract, what it does is it essentially gives you defined risk and return on your trades. So like that spread, since it was a $5 spread, if it hit the 380s mark towards the end of the week, it would be worth $5. So it would have been 75 cents, so $75, and then each contract would have been worth $5. But YouTube will be a very good spot to look up like spreads and debit spreads. No, Logan, the only thing that I use a little bit, mainly just to see what the volatility on that asset's doing, is the ATR on the 30. I don't use it a lot. It's just for options. I'll look and see, all right, what's the current ATR that we're getting? And then price in a move off of that to see if we do get this move, how far could we go in the next 2 days or so? I truly feel like that like 76 entry is going to haunt me. Because I don't know if we're going to get much of a pullback. And we might see 95 quickly. What up, Jonah? How you doing, brother? Quick scalp, 4 points on Russell. Hell yeah. What up, Diana? So far, for those of you that were on stream early, the thesis towards 95s is working. And it's working flawlessly. If we get up there quick, I'm very interested to see what Asia does. My problem is I can't, if I waited patiently down here and forced myself not to take the long, I'm not going to slam longs here. Can you get good risk to reward? Yeah. But I'd be irritated if it pulled back to 79s, and I know that personally. So that's why I didn't take an entry around the open, which I'm sure some of you guys did, right? NQ, little 5-minute 3-bar play at the open. ES slightly below. I'm sure people long that. But for the time being, I definitely lean to the upside. And the big thing too is with us in a daily range and us now testing a daily fail to go lower, if we get strong momentum, this chart can push. And it really can. There's nothing holding us back from getting back up to like 530s, possibly 550s. Am I saying it's guaranteed to happen or going to be a very easy path? No. But if bulls step in and truly take over and hold the low end of the range, it's not out of the question. But I will be watching around 95 to see how we react to there if we get there. Elder for 79s. I'm long right now. Yeah, Diane, I talked about it in the beginning of the stream, but I didn't take it. It was like very quick, and like within the first minute or two that I would have had to have taken it. NQ 30K. Jesus. Elder wants a ripper. I would love to be able to use longs. Because one thing I can say, especially looking at gold, is longs are drastically underpriced right now. Drastically. That was one of the biggest reasons I was looking at gold. The 375 calls were under $1, which we already showed is one current ATR away from the price. If we faded back up a third of this range or half of this range throughout the rest of this week, they would have been at the money to in the money. So I'll see where everything opens up tomorrow, where everything's priced out. But I'm definitely interested, if gold holds structure, in looking at some type of options long. AXP, I wanted at the bottom, but now I gotta wait. I can't chase it, because I'll be so irritated if I chase it and get stopped. Yeah, Steve, I mean, still at some point in the future, I would love a more bearish outlook on gold to get us to retest this. But that could happen in 6 months. That doesn't have to happen right now. I could easily stare at that bigger picture and make myself be like, oh, I want nothing but shorts on this. Similar to the hourly structure that we looked at earlier, if this is a 5-minute chart, I'm not overly interested in shorting right here. I want more of a consolidation bar. So somewhat like we did yesterday. This is a monthly candle. That means I want this range to play out over the next 11 days. If that plays out, which way are we likely going to go? More so to the upside versus the downside on gold. I don't anticipate gold to break that daily support in the near future. If it does, I'm wrong, wholeheartedly. But I do not anticipate it to get that break. Yeah, Zay. I mean, one thing that I'm not, like, if gold does shape up, which I don't like trading this on futures. But let's say it did shape up, got back over the open. This wouldn't be terrible. Get something like that, throw a stop there. Problem is you're throwing a super wide stop and you'd have to have a pretty aggressive target. I'm likely not going to take anything on gold, but I'm going to keep watching the indices. Dollar's still holding. Oil's above the open, slightly pulling back. So either oil will crash a little bit or the indices will get their pullback. Yeah, Zay. I mean, we broke above the hourly. But like we said in the beginning of the stream, when we were all the way down here, I cannot long this if this is a 5-minute chart. Or I cannot short this if this is a 5-minute chart. It logically makes no sense for me. Unless we got clear confirmation below this low. And we didn't even get close. So no matter what, at least in this early session, I lean to the upside. I wanted to see 95. We're already almost there. So I likely can't take a position until we get up there and test it and see how we react. It'll really suck. It'll be like a bittersweet thing if we end up just ripping the entire session without much of an entry, which I doubt, right? I'd be shocked if we just broke right through 95 without some resistance. But if we do just continue to get buying pressure, that would suck, but the thesis would be correct. Yeah, Ledger, I'm not chasing, brother. If I was going to chase this long, I would have chased it already. I'm pretty good at not chasing and just being like, all right, missed that entry. Now what do we do? And you just figure it out over time. Zay, could you imagine the people on social media and how bad they would tweak out if ES bullish engulfed the daily? If we closed above 550s tomorrow, social media would probably tweak out, be like, oh my God, this market's not tradable. When in reality, if you look at it, it's actually clear as day tradable. We have nothing but a massive support right here at 74.75s. Let's do it. Let me get an entry first. Because to be fair, if we got the initial entry, we'd almost be done with stream. What up, Jomo? Why is the live lagging for you? Is it lagging for anybody else? Because I see a little prompt here about keyframe frequency, but I don't know what the hell that means. I'm lagging too, so it's probably on my end, guys. Son of a bitch. All right, let me see something. Hang on, Chad. I'm working on it. Under streaming. All right, we'll see if that works for a little bit. Has bit buffers every 5 minutes, lagging. Thought it was me. No, I'm trying to figure out on my end. If it buffers, just let me know, chat. If it buffers a lot, let me know. And I'll work on figuring it out. You gotta remember, we don't have IT people. Your IT guy for this stream is me. Evening 7, how you doing, brother? I need you to stream 24/7? No. Hopefully this move holds in tomorrow. Hopefully it does. Cairo? Cairo? Cairo. Yeah, Cairo. Gotta be Cairo. Seems better now. We'll see. Full port entering 10 minis. Unfortunately, I can't do that because I only trade 50K. So I can't even use the size Jake uses. 25 points in Asia for 25 minutes is a luxury. It is, Steve. It is. Sleep stream? Nah. Well, see, if I sleep, you guys might not believe this, but I have a hammock that goes under my desk. Do I use it? No. Is it the greatest thing in the world that I got with my desk? Yes. Either way, though, those of you that were on stream early got the sauce for exactly what we're looking for. I'm hoping some of you guys were able to capitalize at least a little bit. So it was $5. Cairo, what I would likely do. No, mental. That's the craziest streams. The people who watch those streams are wild. Still capitalizing? Hell yeah, Cleve. Cairo, what I would likely do is look towards the monthly subscription for now. But on Black Friday is when I spend money on TradingView. Because I'm still using, for instance, I'm still using subscriptions I bought 3 years ago. And the only thing I paid a dime cents for is the individual plans for the data. But it stacks. So when it's like 80, 90% off, you can just buy like 2 years and you don't have to worry about it. Which at the time, I think I had like 1,200 days of TradingView, which was a luxury. Toast, that's just because I got caffeine. That keeps me on all the streams. I was lurking on Alan's last night, but I didn't talk. At least I don't think I talked. Oil's chilling. Oil looks like it might want to try to break below the open. This long just hurts to watch. I'm not like stressed out or irritated about it at all. It was just such a nice possible entry. Which planes do you use? The second highest, the ones that give me the 4 grid. Because the main thing they do is they give you more alerts or more grids. I don't need 8 to 16 grids on one layout, especially because you can have multiple tabs like I do. So I ain't paying for that. But I get the second highest one. Hell yeah, Adam. I'm living vicariously through you guys right now. Wait, so I talked on Alan's stream? Shit. Thought I was lurking.
Trading fame for peace of mind. Not every dream is dollar sign. I see the stars, I know the way. And I'm not here.
What up, Adam?
Just obey. They say I'm lost. I say I'm free.
Chat, by the way, don't forget, like the stream. We're running giveaways. You guys are already at 62 likes? Damn, y'all cruising today.
I'd rather chase the fire within. Let them count the cash and crowns. I'm building light from
Let's see the other indices. Maybe YM gives us like an absolute overnight yeet. I mean, it could, but that's a little more degenerate. Long and YM structurally could make sense, but that would just be complete degenerate. Imagine. Go for this, enter there, throw a stop, say about 100 points. Not a bad trade. Little 500 bagger on YM. Craziest thing too that some people might not be watching, because obviously NQ's the weaker name. NQ's the only name structurally that's trying to set a 4-hour higher low right now. So if NQ does set a 4-hour higher low, if this is a 5-minute chart and we set this and we get confirmation, where would the next kind of target area be for me? I'd be looking somewhere in here, which puts us back around 29 ones. So about 300 points higher. At that point, I might as well target yesterday's highs. I think there's a lot of opportunity for longs. I don't want to get myself married to longs, but I feel like that's definitely the easier trade at the moment. What up, Armani? What are you looking at tonight? 7. Early. I'll do a little TLDR for everyone from the beginning of the stream that I did. So those of you that were in here already heard it. When I pulled up the stream, I was looking at this hourly on ES. And what I do when I analyze any individual chart is I look at the different time frames. Think in my head, if this is a 5-minute chart, how would I want to trade this? Well, the number one thing we drew was get that rally up in the 95s if I want to short. Retest this big resistance here. Then look to see if you can get some conviction off of that for the short. Because if this is a 5-minute structure that I'm looking at, obviously erase this candle from your memory. Pretend it's not even there on the chart. Because we were down here. I can't short this. I can't. We've already trended so far. We don't have a lower high. I would dream of a lower high if I'm bearish, which would make me want to long no matter what. Also, the fact that we tested below yesterday's low, couldn't get enough selling pressure to get below last week's lows. Because when you look at this daily, we talked about it yesterday. If I was bearish, I would want this big daily inside bar that we got closing near the lows to make it look like we're going to sell off. I'd want to break these lows, break last week's lows, and flush. We couldn't even get 6 points past today's lows to break last week's lows. So the bearish pressure isn't there at the moment. Can we sit in this general range throughout the next day or two and set up a short? 100%. Easily. I mean, y'all saw the volatility in New York. But just going into this session, I could not get myself to be interested in shorts. I couldn't. Even though we were below the open, consolidating at the lows between last week's low and today's lows, it did not make sense in my head to be looking at that chart to short. And I didn't take the long. So now we're chilling. What up, Bess? Ledger, are they? I haven't looked at those yet. Okay, let me get rid of all this on AMD for when we look at it. Even when we look at AMD, we drew these lines on stream from a while ago. If AMD holds 500, this chart's fine. Completely fine. It had no reason at all to gap up today if bears were going to be in control. They should have broke the lows and kept selling on Friday. But if AMD does hold 500, I'm not opposed to longs back up into 550s, 560s. And to be honest, with the current ATR we have of $32, that could happen in a day. Easily. From 500 to 550s. NVIDIA is stuck in the same similar consolidation, obviously a little more volatile, but still consolidation. MU looks very similar to NVIDIA. Qualcomm, the weakest of the bunch. Yeah, AMD is definitely the strongest semiconductor right now. If I wanted longs, I'd probably lean more towards that for a move off of 500 into 550s. Or if we gap above like 520s. Probably a lot of potential there, but I guarantee you AMD contracts are likely out of the budget that I want to spend on an options contract. Let's check. July 24th. Jesus. If you want 530s, which is $27 out of the money, or what, 5%? Because I know we have some earnings this week, which are going to impact the prices. But if you want contracts currently on AMD that are 5.5% out of the money, weeklies, they're $1,200 a piece. I have zero interest in looking at that AMD chart. Not even a little bit. Are you long or short buys tonight? In the early session, which we've already gotten, long buys. If we end up, here's what I would look for. If I want to short this, let's just say this candle holds here until the end of close. Not necessarily a candle you want to short. So what would I want to see? Give me a strong candle close on this hourly. If I want to be bearish, this is exactly what I want to see. Strong candle close. Give me a pop above on the next candle, whether it's the 95s, 500s, whatever it may be. Hit that resistance and aggressively push us back below. Similar to what we tried to do yesterday, right? We got just like this. Stronger hourly, obviously not as strong. You get that rally up into the resistance. Big rejection, hourly fail to go higher. This is what I would want to see to be able to go short. So I would likely need this hourly to close, which gives me 21 minutes to even think about it. Then I would need another probably 15 to 30 of that candle attempting to push higher. And then the second half of that next hourly candle, so in an hour, if you start to see a bigger rejection, that point I might be interested in shorts. Anything before that, not overly interested. Obviously, this hourly candle in the next 20-something minutes slams back to yesterday's lows. Yes, that candle looks like shit now. And shorts could be an option. I'd be more so shocked if it slammed it all the way back lower. But we do have that resistance that we were looking at around 95. We don't have to hit it, but I would love to see this test. Which, if we're doing our normal stuff where we draw this, it'd be like this. Got my TPES long, 1400 USD. Got my second fund already. Hell yeah, Rag is up. Rag, I was looking at it. I just didn't take it. I was diving into the charts when it kind of started to move. And I was just very indecisive because my gut, like the chart in theory, obviously the daily looked a little more bearish. My gut was screaming there's absolutely no reason to short this chart. I didn't listen to it, but I didn't trade, so I'm cool. I'm okay missing a move as long as I don't take a loss trying to chase it or trying to fade it. Hell yeah, Rag. That was probably one of the better entries you would have gotten right down there. 1000%. Because worst case, if you threw a little bit wide, like 6 points on that, no matter where you entered, even if you entered at yesterday's lows. So all the, like up here on this candle, 6 points would have still been a wide stop. So you can get away with a really tight stop on an entry down there, which is nice. December MU calls. I'm going to print for the holidays. Ledger, those contracts got to be $10,000 a piece minimum. Unless you are just going balls deep out of the money, those got to be like 10K a piece. MU rallying overnight. Yeah, it is. Interesting. The dollar should be opening here shortly. Yeah, it just opened. Usually first candle does nothing. Second candle will get some movement so we can watch it. I can build an aggressive thesis on gold. I would definitely go small contracts because you would have to have like that as a stop minimum. What would it be if I did a little more of aggressive of a stop? Problem with gold, with me and gold though, is anytime I do a stop like this, I get stopped out. If I do a stop like this, I'm fine. I just don't love the daily on it, but it is at the support. 4 hour is trying to fail to go lower. If we get an aggressive gap up on gold, that'll suck. But I'll probably re-enter the spreads anyway. Kumail, what is SMC? Gold always needs the widest stops. Yeah. Digital, that's the problem. Right now, if I trade off of my strategy, my stop could be here. Do I trust a 5-point stop on gold at any point in my life? No. Not even a little bit. Also, I just don't love the hourly. I would have rather seen the hourly spike a little bit lower. The 4 hour did, so like I get it. The daily didn't, so it's still a daily inside bar. Very tight daily inside bar. I still think gold has a lot of upside potential this week, and I think a lot of people are going to be overly bearish on it. Yeah, it wicked down and went up. I would have loved it if it did that. SMT at the lows. Don't know what that is. For ESNQ versus YM. I'm hoping ES retraces back to 83. Yeah, right around the open. It could do that. You just need to see this 15 close a little more aggressively bearish and look for a continuation back lower. This is why we wait on gold. This is why I don't trade gold. I would have had zero problem longing this 5-minute close, and I would already almost be stopped. That is exactly why me and gold do not get along in the slightest. Smart money trap. It's like a failure to go lower. Is that what you're talking about? Chat, what are you guys trading today? If you're in anything. If you're cash, you can say cash. If you just want to talk in the chat. Oh, okay. Just chilling, cash. I feel like a majority of the chat's probably sitting cash. I wouldn't be shocked if some shorted around the lows. Wouldn't, like, the structure make sense for it on the lower time frames. You're long in gold for a quick scalp. I'm not opposed to it. I just know if I got in gold and gold treated me like gold normally does, it's a lose-lose there. The lose on gold for me is way worse than the win. Way worse. Because me and gold, we do not go together. I might stab on it with a few small contracts at some point. I'm still watching. I would just need a little more of an aggressive stop. I just don't like the structure on it as much as the indices on the lower time frame. Still my MNQ long? Hell yeah. Avoiding the chase, huge. Avoiding the chase is massive, brother. Cash missed the move. It'd be like that. Just an ICT concept that shows price divergence between correlated indices. Oh. See, I just call that a divergence. I feel like ICT they trade a lot of the most basic terms, but just put different words on them to make it sound smarter. And I'm not coming at ICT. I'm just calling a spade from what I see. It seems like they just take the most simplistic concepts, make it sound a little more complex, and bam, ICT. See you later, SC. So indices are all doing well. Oil might try to pull back, which would help gold. The dollar pulls back would help gold as well. So I took probably 5 micros, used that stop. It'd be around 525 on it, or 325, which wouldn't be bad. Let's say you target 23, 12 points. It's not crazy. It'd be like a quick 2-to-1. I feel like gold for me, I'm just going to be patient. I love looking at it right now for the potential. I don't love the hourly. Unless it fully engulfs this, then I would look for a really aggressive trade up into like 30s. What do you think your win rate percentage is? Lower than people would expect. Well, probably not on stream because the last week has been a little bit of a barn burner. Normally like 60, nothing crazy at all. But that's why a lot of my trades target minimum like 2R to compensate for that. Another payout, push up on high day, second one this week. Hell yeah, Diana. Love seeing it. All right, so we couldn't get up to 95, which is interesting. Now, here's the question. If we pull back here, what would I need to see it along? I would have to see the open test with an aggressive buying pressure for a failure to go lower. But I don't love that because NQ's failure to go higher. Like, I would love to see this immediate buying. Problem is, it would have to happen in the next 9 minutes. Immediately. Back up above 90s. ES, I'm fine taking that type of trade. But I don't love this on NQ. I don't love that we spiked the highs on that candle. See you later, Diana. Dollar's still pulling back a little. We're at the opens. It's just a harder blind buy. I think best case scenario is wait for this, at least this 5 minute to close, see how the next one reacts, and we play off of that. And if we continue to push below the open towards yesterday's lows, overall broader thesis will flip. Obviously, in the beginning of the stream, we were fully long. Remember, though, with that hourly, if we didn't get a stronger close and we push aggressively lower, because now we would need a strong push in the next 8 minutes to fix this candle if we wanted to be interested in longs. If not, this looks like it may take an hour or two to potentially start to break to the downside. But we'll see if we can get out of this range. Because that's kind of what we're setting at the moment. Anyone take a short on that? Really wanted to? I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. See, we have the indices pulling back, and this is just, gold is tempting. Because if it breaks the open, it should get a pretty aggressive push. Waiting patiently for Asia Open. At this point, it's the smartest thing to do. Wait those 7 minutes, see what Asia Open does, and let her rip. Mento, the short fell into your pre-market plan? If so, hell yeah, brother. I would have wanted 5 more points, but if the shoe fits, rip it. I didn't end up playing with my indicator, but I was thinking about it. Hell yeah. Buy limit on NQ 757. So you're a few ticks away from getting filled. Which by the looks of it would be around this low. A little bit above it. Okay. Yeah, you should get filled in a second. Mental, what time frame you use the EMA on? Two minutes trying. Did you get filled there? There's no way it missed you by 1. Hopefully you got filled on slippage. Just left me there. Damn. It missed you too, Logan? Damn. 5's trying, dude. We'll see what Asia does to gold. It's either going to aggressively slam off the open or it's going to try to get that bigger break. Right now, I am just a market spectator, living vicariously through you guys. Oh, you're talking about his entry? Yeah. That's the thing. If once someone posts their entry just in the chat, if chat isn't trading, they will fully live vicariously through that entry. Yeah, HB, you heard me say I wouldn't use a 5-point stop on gold. I mean, I would, but it just, dude, every time I do, I get nuked on gold. Usually I try to go around like 7 to 10 and just go lower size, worst case, add into strength. Structurally, it might set this aggressive failure to go lower. Right into Asia. I feel like today's providing nice entries. You just have to be aggressive with them. And I'm just not being aggressive yet. And if that leaves me cash, that leaves me cash. But y'all can see, I've been staring at charts the entire time. I'm definitely eager to trade. Oil hourly fair to go higher is interesting. Because if that wants to, and it wants to break the 4 hour, you could look for that pushback lower in towards like 81.15s. Gold might do it at Asia Open. Got about 3 minutes left till the Open. You're in, Captain? Hell yeah, Eldred. It's funny because right now I know I'm like I'm not fighting the inner degen. I'm just fighting being overly aggressive on trades. Let's see what we do. So we have 2 minutes into the Open. Prior hourly high sits at basically 86. We're fighting to get above. If we get above that, we should see a push throughout the beginning of Asia. Structure just makes sense for it.
Dance anyway, even when the sky turns gray. Spinning through the storm,
Where'd that go?
moving like the pain will fade. I dance anyway.
Yeah, most fab it did. We're good. We should be good though. Chat, we're good, right?
Trouble's tapping at my door, but I won't let it win this war. One breath, one step. The night won't take me yet.
Yeah, you're back.
This heart was built to sway, even when I break.
Why am I getting this though? Should be no more than about 50% of the available upload speed. So if you're streaming, you need at least. All right, give me 1 second. Let me look at some settings. Customize. Details. Got filled on NQ. Let's see if she holds. Do we close below? We closed below by just under 1 point. So now we did lock in an hourly fail to go higher on the indices, which is interesting. Changes the entire criteria. Gold, big rejection off the Open thus far. Good patience on that. Now we wait and see. Let's see if it shows my rate on this. Also, chat, if we get 53 more likes, there's 192 of you guys in here. I know over half y'all haven't liked the stream. Show a little love, hit the thumbs up button below the video. and we'll do a giveaway. Will you enter a trade? Ish, if I get an entry, and that depends. If I get an entry, I'm in. If I'm looking to actually take that entry, yes. But so far, nothing for me. I wanted more of a consolidation to enter on the longs. Wasn't going to chase this. Talked about this entry in the beginning of stream. A lot of chat caught it. I wanted shorts if I wanted them off of 95. Didn't get up there, so no entry there. Now we see. Might just be a stream of patience. Which, in this current market, there's nothing wrong with being patient. All right, let's go here. Settings. Put. Lower streaming. Really? Oh, that's what it likely is. Okay. Sorry, Chad. I'm just looking at all my settings and stuff real quick while I let the market kind of digest the Asia Open. Trying to see if we can figure out that little occasional buffer we get. It might be bit rate, so I'll have to play with that at some point. Could also just be internet bandwidth. I live in the middle of nowhere. Me and my brother both use heavy internet when we're on our computers, so we got a quick push, but we're not getting much follow through yet. Smack the Wi-Fi couple. You want me to run downstairs, beat the hell out of the Wi-Fi, and come back up? I could paint a picture if you want to range more of an aggressive entry, but if I wait through all of this, the last thing I want to do is stab along on this 5-minute candle. If we're being patient today, we're going to be patient. We're going to wait till we see something that we love. At least I am. Or we're going to be chilling. So the last thing I want to do is wait through all of this, the initial game plan, try to stab along and get smoked. What are we doing here? YM's pretty weak. For all you little trend line traders. NKD, a little aggressive pullback. Oil retesting the open. If it breaks the open, the indices could hold. Dollar pushing lower. Broke on the 4-hour. If it gets confirmation, we could see that big push down towards like 100.85. But if that pushes lower, these would likely push higher. We just have 1 second left. That's the 5-minute candle. Pretty ugly 5-minute candle. Can it buy back up? Yes, because when we're in volatility, we pay attention to structure, not the individual candles, but I'm not looking to immediately buy that. If anything, the analysis is definitely there today. Do you think you can pass an account with Logan $10 in drawdown? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You have $10 whole in drawdown. The movement on GC is exactly why you wait. You and me both, Digital. You and me both. You caught a $6.50 scalp. What the fuck? Oh, Logan. Why do you do this to yourself? I mean, what that means is the account technically got liquidated, but it filled you sooner, which has happened to me before. Usually when that happens, I enter 2 minis, let it slip me that $10 and just RIP the account. But if you want to grind her back, it's a journey. You might need to trade one RTY during New York, but you can get there. One micro unlimited. No shit. No, I'm saying I do one mini so that way the account just gets blown. If that happens to me. Because in my head, I'm not fighting back $2,990 with a $10 drawdown to be break even. But it's definitely fun to keep. Like if you want to keep it and just mess around with it, wholeheartedly. But if you want a new account, I heard code RAKE or code RT will get you the biggest discount on any prop firm at the moment. Not a bad little plug. Commission gonna eat 2 of that 650? No, he has 1650 now. Great segue. Yeah, I don't do like big marketing spiels, but you gotta slip them in occasionally. You know, that is kind of what allows me to be here, so gotta plug it. Chat, we have 202 people on here. First off, I appreciate y'all. Second off, right now the initial game plan played out for those of you just hopping on. I didn't take the trade. I was diving in the charts when this kind of happened. I didn't expect it to happen that quick at the open, but it did. Now we're just waiting. Now the hourly got a little more bearish. Overall thesis was a rally up into 95s to short. Didn't get up to 95s. Got to 90. Front ran that a little bit, unfortunately. And the waiting game plays. Did you just catch $4 more? Yeah, and why? I mean, if you do want to learn the system, be a part of the community, see all the traders, all the streamers' trades during the day, Discord is there. 1925 on TPT eval. Lock that in. I have been on a losing streak. Mental, that's one of the greatest things to do. Even just yesterday's trade on stream, I needed that win just for the mental aspect of what I went through last week. What do you think of TJR Island? I'll bite my tongue a little bit. There's a big difference between trading and influencers. Big difference. There's traders who are influencers, and then there's influencers who trade. Just take that little piece of advice and tuck it away when you look at social media. I'm new to the channel because I love watching trading live. Quick question. Do you ever do partial contract exits via stop limit orders, or are you focused on buying and selling full contracts only? That is exactly what I do, wearing my teeth. I actually do that 2 separate ways. When it, like, let's say I wanted to take a long here. Structurally, could it work? Yeah. But let's say I want to take a higher risk long. What I would do is normally my size is 15-ish micros. Enter, let's say 5 to 7 with a stop. Once we start to build conviction, there's times I'll throw like a stop buy order right here to fill me in contracts. So that way, as the trade's giving me conviction, it'll add into it. And there's also times where a lot of my trades, unlike yesterday I went full in, full out pretty much. I have no problem trimming. I have zero problem locking in profits along the way for me. And that's just how I trade. I would rather secure some, move my stop, I trail my stop with structure along the way. So I'm very methodical about my execution. But there's a fine line about being methodical between your execution and over executing. Gold buy or sell, gold looks like shit. It is stuck. I mean, this is what you got on gold. Am I interested if do I think gold can make a big move if it breaks over like 414s? Yeah, 100%. It could easily go back up towards New York highs. But this is the current price action that you're asking if I want to buy or sell on. That I don't have shit to say right there. Not even a little bit. I also don't trade gold a lot, so that's not overly interested. If it breaks, and what I like to do with ranges like this take a little one of these, draw a little bit of this. We get outside of that, look for a continuation. While we're inside of that, maybe not so much. Yeah, and where are my teeth? For you and anyone else who might be new to the channel, I'm not, first off, Rake Trades. I'm Ron G Trades. There's 5 streamers that stream on this channel. I stream the early Asia, so 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We have Alan, Mr. A Zhang, pre-London, 1 a.m. Eastern to 3 a.m. Eastern. And then Rake Trades is on the morning, 8:30 to like 11:30. We have Mitch, Mr. Gamma, 12:30 to 1:30. And then we have Lamelli, Mr. ICT, doing Power Hour. Did I just talk shit about TJ? I didn't talk shit. Armani, I think the worst part is the people who are actively watching that live. That's even worse. That's the thing, though. If he's doing it, there's an audience for it. And that's crazier. See you later, Finch. Logan, are you just scalping the absolute hell out of like 1NQ right now? Of course, where's my teeth? What would that stop be? This would probably be aggressive. Yeah. Well, now it's aggressive. I think we can hold this range. It's just a very unfavorable range. This market right now, it's giving moves, it's giving opportunities. You just have to be aggressive with entries. Like I guarantee you people longed off NQ at yesterday's low. People longed off ES at yesterday's low in the chat. I fully guarantee that. It feels like the market at the moment, I still lean more so to the upside. Do I think it's the cleanest long chart in the world? No. But I still lean towards it a little bit throughout the overnight. It's just where is that clean entry going to be to where I can take it and I can hold and not really care about it consolidating or pulling back. Like I think there's definitely a lot of potential. And if you're being aggressive, if you told me I'm being aggressive, taking buys off the lows, sells at the highs, would not hesitate, would not be shocked at all. This is the kind of market you want to do that in, for sure. Ollie, I have no clue. I haven't watched a single video on it. I just know there's a bunch of people doing the audition videos a while ago, and it hurt my brain. If NQ breaks 680 level, can it go down to 28,420? I mean, if it breaks that, can it go down? Yeah. You're saying if it breaks right here at 680s, can it go down to 420s? At the lows? Yeah, it can. Easily. But is the conviction there across the board for you to short that? If it agrees with your setup and your criteria to short it, let it rip. For me, I wanted more of an hourly. I wanted more of an hourly lower high. If we end up not getting it and we break this, I might just be patient. Because then I'm going to be like, all right, how are we going to react when we break below last week's lows? If you were on yesterday, you remember that overall thesis of playing off of last week's lows. TJR Island looks like it will teach us all that we need to get to the next level. Liz, wholeheartedly agree. It's exactly what you should be putting all the attention into. I saw someone on a comment, because I saw one video about it today, and I was just reading the comments to see what they said. It was like, TJR got 10 of the same dudes all on the island. Wow. Do you take a stab log on ES above OP? It depends on structure. Do I think if we break above OP, we can get continuation? Yeah. But it's how are we going to react around OP? Are we going to set like a decent higher low that we can long off of? Or are we just going to go from here, rip straight into OP? If we do this and get here, no. But if we maybe set up some structure where you go off this area up into the OP, maybe a little bit of a higher low, and then look to break off a consolidation, yeah, I'd be interested. But for now, I'm more patient because we're right back at the low end of the range. What up, BL Trades? You know, they say you're talking shit, but they never call you a liar. Think about that. Solid point, Rain. Digital, how'd you know? Fading the candles on a 30-second chart. Oh, Logan, you are in the trenches, my friend. You are in the absolute trenches right now. If you're fading 30-second candles to bring back a $10 account, I mean, all props to you, but my God, that's a sweat fest I don't want to be a part of. I got caught up really high for the long. Trader, I could see people chasing it, but even on stream when I was talking about it, I'm like, would I be interested in taking this? Maybe, but I did not want to chase this because I would have been more irritated if I got stopped out versus chasing that trade. Big upside coming. I think there's potential for sure, but I'm not going to look at this chart and be like, yeah, this is guaranteed to rip higher. This is the hourly we're currently trading in. If we spike, fail to go lower, get back above, yes, that voids this hourly candle. Look, this makes this one more bullish. Can we rip off of that? 100%. We're in a range right now. If we can get conviction and continuation, 100%. Like I said, there's entries in this market wholeheartedly. You just have to be aggressive. And today I'm just not being aggressive with it. I'm being more patient. But I'm definitely really interested in the overnight. And if we do get that push higher, if we get that push higher, I'm going to be stalking a lot of names for longs with options. What up, Warlord? You want 20 more points down to long. Interesting. Do you want a little spike under last week's lows? Thus far, even this last little test broke yesterday's lows. We still don't have enough bearish momentum to get us to last week's lows. Like, bears are trying. They're fading these moves, but we cannot even get back to last week's lows. If we break last week's lows, yeah, I can see shorts playing out. But until then, I lean more so of a broader range, potentially upside. Logan better win the giveaway. I mean, it sounds like he needs it right now. Logan, I truly hope you do. And I hope you took a screenshot in the beginning. Yeah, Chris, I don't trust anything Forex, personally. I have Forex brokers DM me all the time, and I will never get into Forex just because the unregulated aspect of it. You can get up to $100 drawdown, you'll take this serious? I mean, you catch one good entry, you're up there. How many people are long gold? I know some of you guys are. It's moving. It might end up being a day of a lot of analysis that works, but just not taking the trade, which I'm cool with in this kind of market. Fast moves, yeah, it is. Like, I see the setups happening. It's not a risk that I've wanted to put on yet, personally. I'm long ES from 480s, beautiful entry. I was 2 points away from getting stopped, now plus 70. Hell yeah, Chris. Back short. I don't love shorts here, but we'll see. Can it work? Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love that we keep holding yesterday's low and not even getting the last week's lows. If I was bearish, I would want to be bearish outside of this range or shorting the highs, shorting a resistance. Dollar looks weak, which is good. Oil's trying to be weak, hasn't moved yet, and KD's doing nothing. YM and RTY kind of stuck a little bit. I definitely think the overnight's going to provide some value. It's just how late into the overnight are we going to get that? Yeah, Zay, I mean, you can see clear as day. Like, if we get under this 74, 73s, we're definitely going to push lower. There's no way we shouldn't. But if we continue to hold that, I guarantee you there's probably some type of gamma support around here. Because we're holding for a reason. Your laptop died right when you were... Brother. Why are you trading on low battery? Yeah, Song, I'm not opposed to that, but if it does fall back to that area on IQ, I get even less interested. Because then we're just sitting in this. And that's not somewhere I'm going to find high conviction. What I would anticipate at that point is wait for the 4-hour close around 10 p.m. Then between like 10:30 and 11-ish, see what structure does then. And look for that continuation in either direction. Can't believe we left those lows. We're not... I mean, at some point, would I expect us to hit last week's lows? Yeah. And why? What do you mean? One thing I will say, though, and we'll see later on Alan's stream. If Alan's trading, this is Alan's kind of price action. For sure. Because you can take... Let's say you're trading, if he has a channel in this general area. Easy 1-to-1s. Obviously, probably tighter stop, easy 2-to-1s, especially resistance-wise as well. So I'll be interested to see if Alan goes over trades in this area on his stream. Laptop dying? Yep. Zay, they kind of need to, if you think about it. Going into the 15, Bulls want to see this 15 close as strong as humanly possible to push that 30 up. I still think we see more upside, but I could be wrong. I'm not obviously not putting risk on that at the moment. Uh-oh, Logan. Logan. You had sub $50 in the account and you entered on a mini. You were doing, the chat was living vicariously through you for entertainment. And you entered a mini? What are you doing? Where are my teeth? When oil gives opportunity, it is by far one of my favorite names to trade. During the early war times, all I traded was oil. Like 70 to 80% of my trades. What I want on oil, and I talked about it throughout this whole rally. Does oil look interesting? Yes. Give me somewhat of a structure because all we did was sell off aggressively. Give me some structure to trade off of. You can see I have this chart marked up like crazy. And then I'm very interested in trading. But right now, it's kind of just in between these areas. If we end up breaking below the open, getting back below like 82.3s, I could see us making a move down to 81.15s. But oil is definitely one of my favorite names to trade when I love the setup. Damn, gold would have worked too. I know some of y'all are in gold, so we're chilling. So we're retesting the open. I just don't like us in this area at all. And if there's no trades because of that, it is what it is. I'm not opposed to us getting above the open and getting longs. My problem is structurally, I'd want to stop like down here. And you're talking a 9-10 point stop, which isn't terrible. But when your target's, let's say 95 for 11, it's not something I'm overly interested in. Do I think we can rip higher if we consolidate longer? For sure. 100% for sure. No, most fab. I won't copy trade across firms. If I copy trade, it's only on one firm. Can you speak up? I'm cutting my lawn. Props for the dedication, but I don't want to yell into the mic. Yeah, no, most of I've never used a third-party copy trader. I don't like the idea of it. One, because I don't want all those accounts at risk at one time. And two, I don't like setting everything through a third party to have it execute the trades for me. I don't even trade through TradingView into a broker. Plus, if I want to trade through multiple firms, I'll just have multiple windows open and I'll just take entries on both. What's up, Eldred? Rob, that could easily happen. What do you mean you're getting scammed? Chat, by the way, you guys are sub 30 likes away from the giveaway. Like it up. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, Roberts, it's just personal preference. It is fully personal preference for me with the third-party copiers. I'm not saying they don't work. I personally don't use them, and I don't like the thought of it. Do I think it works for people? 100%. Dollar retest at the open, which is interesting. Most fab, that happens. That's something that's going to happen with it. I've seen that happen to a lot of people. Or it'll forget to cancel some orders and they'll get filled later on. It's part of the reason I don't like the idea of it. Was in a bit of drawdown, but I'm glad my trade worked out. I'm glad it did, brother. All right, so we're back just shy of 90s on ES. Fighting a little bit. I don't love structure because of the range. I feel like I'd rather be willing to long the lows because I'm not overly eager to short. And if I don't short, it is what it is. If we go lower, I'll be cash. But I feel like I'd want to either be trading the range or looking for a continuation out the top side. And we are currently sitting in neither of those positions. Arch, we don't need that. If we get botted on stream, trust me, especially likewise, I will be more irritated than happy. Because all that does is mess up the channel when you get botted like that. Because YouTube has algorithms that pays attention to the overall viewers plus likes, stuff like that. Like if we just shot up to 5,000 viewers, would it be good attention from other people? Yeah. But overall, getting botted is not good. Logan, I mean, we have the mastermind in the Discord. It's up to the individual if they want to learn that. But it's what a lot of people use. Because there's also a lot of mastermind students in these streams. But as you know, it's where everyone that's on stream at least learned the fundamentals. And then they built off of it. What up, AF? How you doing? I'm annoyed I got out for a loss, got caught up for the highs, and then it pushed way past. Agreed, trader. That's also why, I don't know if you were on stream earlier, when we were right here, I said this could be an entry, but I'm not overly interested in taking it. Because if I took this and went for 95s and I got stopped out here, I would have been more irritated because I could have seen that easily coming back into drawdown for a higher low. Are you long or short? I'm in nothing right now. I lean more to the upside than downside. I just haven't taken a trade yet. Do you think we can reclaim 990 longed at 97? You mean 890, brother? Or 28,900? Because there's no way you entered at 29,750. And if you did, you are in trouble. Because you are in a lot of drawdown. Yeah, we could easily get to 890s. If we get to 890s, we're still sitting in a 4-hour range. If this hourly holds these lows, even if you want a lower high, you can get up to 28.9s. I mean, we're 60 points away from that. That's a 5-minute candle of volatility or volume picks up. How do you practice your patience? Easy, Jeremy. Don't do anything. I mean, it looks easy for me, but it took a long time. I used to overtrade like crazy. Hell yeah, AXP. I think we can get back up there. I truly think the overnight leans to a lot more upside, but we'll see. We'll see if that plays out. Appreciate you, Jeremy. A lot of it's too, let's say I get stressed out over trading. That does absolutely nothing for me. All it does is make trading harder and makes it worse. Could I be overly irritated and say, oh my God, I have FOMO from not taking this entry or not taking this entry? Yeah. But what does that do for the future? One, it's either going to make me trade like shit, or it's going to make me take like a rushed entry that I shouldn't be at. I got to accept what I did. If I sit cash this session, I got to accept it. If the market just absolutely rips like it's currently pushing, it's the decision I made. It's what I got to live with. There's nothing I can do to change that. Especially with something like gold. Like, let's say gold rips to 430s or even higher. Stalked this for a while, ended up deciding not to take it off of the little 5-minute bearish pressure at Asia Open. Is what it is. A lot of good analysis today. Just haven't taken a trade. Zay, what do you mean? I'm long on MNQ, 775s, looking for 29K or break even. I like it, Rob. Especially because now you have the open as your little support around your entry. Most of I wouldn't say you're getting scammed. I guarantee you it's in their TOS that nobody reads. That you're going to get a little bit of slippage on fills, or they're not always going to execute properly. And that's just how it is. Can I have 70% off a 50K select Lucid? Brother, you got to ask Lucid for that. I don't get promo. If I don't get 70% off, I can't give somebody 70% off. You think I have the power to be like, yo, Lucid, my boy wants 70% off. Give him a special code. No. Jake doesn't even have that power. What I can do, though, is if you like the stream and we get to 150 likes, I'll run a giveaway. Not yet, Rev. We got to get the likes. Do you have tips doing trailing stop loss as to how you determine real high, low, lower, high to then put the stop to it? I feel like a lot of times when I'm trying to do trail stop, I put them too soon. Yeah, Arch, it's going to be structured for me. Let's say you took that initial long off yesterday's lows. I wouldn't move a stop until we change structure. So when we're looking at this is a bit of a structure change. Now that we've broken above these highs, clearly, we're back above the open. If this is going to continue, we should not get back below this area here. Should not get below the open, should not get here. I trail my stops wider. So at that point, let's say my stop was down here around last week's lows. I would move it up to this little consolidation. If we set another higher low where we respect this high and continue to push higher, I would trail my stop again below that. It's basically, where do I want to see this chart? Where would I not want to see this chart go if I want to continue to be long? And then I move it just below that. The Ripper. I don't know anybody at Lucid. I'm in MNQ at 800. We shall see. So you bought that consolidation after the retest of the open. I don't hate it. Yeah, Rob, I would assume you get discounts. Most of the time, what it likely is, especially if you're streaming for them, like I guarantee you the Tradeify streamers don't pay for their evals. It wouldn't make sense to make them because it's just part of a marketing expense. Bullish retest, so glad I exited around 28.725. So I'm done for the evening. May stay, watch for a bit. Tomorrow is my birthday. Happy early birthday, Wolf. Chat, show some love in the chat. All right, Ripper. Not yet, Moke. You're here, but not yet. Yeah, structurally, this makes no sense to push lower. It doesn't. Unless we get a big rejection off 95s, I'd be shocked if we go lower. At least in the earlier session. Steve, your birthday's tomorrow? Got fun again? Hell yeah, most fab. No, Jeremy, I'm a Gemini. I don't pay any attention to that, but I know that's what I am. All right, Zay. You got new lingo now? Jeremy, I'm not opposed to it. I'm an asparagus? Hell yeah. Wait, New York high during Asia session. All right, that might be a little much, brother. 60 points isn't crazy. If we get a big gap up, though, and I'll live with this thought. If we get a bigger gap up, let's say we do get today's highs during Asia, I would be looking straight towards 600 to 630s on ES. If we open here for New York, unless we get a very aggressive sell-off early New York, I would expect a bullish continuation day throughout the entire day. I would be interested in nothing but longs. I'm a mastermind student to change my trading. What is something outside of the course you or Jake look at for extra confluence? Do you reference SPY, SPX, or QQQ, other things? Colroy, I pay attention to a lot of the indices. You'll see me flip to this 4 grid. I'm looking at divergences across the board. Like right now, quick glance on this. ESNQ, new session highs. RTY, YM, not really. What this means, right now we have NQ and ES both around this little end of day consolidation. If we get into that, start to build a little bit of consolidation, and then we see the short-term rotation into RTY and YM, we have a very healthy market to the upside. And at that point, that is why I'd be leaning more so for a bigger continuation throughout the overnight. If that sets up. The best way to see continuation is watching the indices, looking for the very slight divergences and seeing if they go to correct them. Because if they do, if RTY gets new highs, YM gets new highs, we have all 4 indices trending in the new high of day together. So that's going to give me the most confluence out of anything. Other than that, you can look at other little aspects like oil. Oil is a good thing to pay attention to if you're trading during war times, or even so if you're trading gold. And then the dollar, I pay attention to a lot. So just looking at positive correlations, negative correlations, and how they're trading. How to overcome overtrading. Rav boys, set yourself a certain trade limit for the day. If you're like, all right, 2 trades, I'm it, no matter what, winning or losing. A lot of it, what it is you're likely you're either not looking at the mid to high time frames and rushing into multiple entries, or you're not okay with smaller profits or smaller losses. And I used to be like that. I used to not be okay with a $100 loss because it was only $100. Why not risk more? Then I would lose it down to 500. Well, I wasn't okay with 500 back then. Then I lose it to 1,000. Well, I'm really not okay with 1,000, so might as well try another trade. And it was just a bad snowball. Good way to get over that, though, is set yourself maybe 2-3 trades a day, smaller size, obviously, so you don't hit max loss. Give yourself a max loss limit on the day. No matter what your P&L is after the trade number, you are done. Is it going to suck ass some days when you see a good setup? Yes. But you're here for the future. You're not here for one day. Hell yeah, Steve. See you come. Arch, you got a really good entry. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not going to tell you how to execute, but I'm not opposed to that if I had that kind of entry. But a good example is yesterday, too. I caught one really nice trade in the beginning of stream that we held for a majority of the stream. Then the overall short setup I was interested played out. Partly. Did I take it? No, because I took my one trade. I was content with the P&L, and I had no reason to trade. I didn't even trade during New York session because I was fine with my futures trades. Yeah, a lot of people go through. That's my problem, sizing and discipline and actually using my strategy. Logan, if you lock in all of those, it's a lot easier. The biggest thing for people is just the generalized aspect of your risk. Most people aren't okay with the risk on the position sizing they lose. They're okay with the profits. Like, would I love to profit on 4 ES contracts? Of course. But I would not be okay with the stop loss on 4 ES contracts. Jeremy, with options, I'm way more cautious. But even so, I have no problem trading smaller size with options. Anything in my options account, though, I'm willing to lose. In a given day, no. But in general, yes. Like Friday, I loved an NVIDIA setup that I was looking at. I had nothing in my options account because I'll occasionally withdraw it if I don't love the market, just so I don't trade. And I threw like $400 in. That 400 turned into like 1,700 on one trade. I then withdrew like $700. Now I'm going to play around with 1,000, see what I can grow it to. But options, I trade scarcely for the most part because I'm waiting for a setup that I think has really good risk to reward, and then I take it. I'm usually not looking for, let's just say, a 1R or 2R options trade. If I'm in an options trade, I want it to possibly move a couple 100%. Noom. I'm just going to call you that because I don't know exactly what the name is there. But good perspective, too, is the broader perspective of trading. I'm going to bring out the calculator. Most people aren't okay with $200 a day. And most people work a 9 to 5 outside of trading, right? Trading's a hobby, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. It's not just $200 a day. If you do that every single day, there's 252 trading days in a year. How would an extra $50,000 sound to most people? Probably great. Probably absolutely flawless. Life-changing type of money. Some people, that doubles their salary. That's why I'm okay if I only make $300 in a day. Does trading pay my bills? Yes. But I'm in it for the long run. Also, a majority of my trading, and same with Jake's, isn't just the little hit and runs. It's that 2 big trades you catch a month that make you a couple $1,000, let's say. That makes an entire month for me. In theory, if I wanted to, I could wait, trade very scarcely, take 3-4 trades a month that are A+ setups, only take those and be fine. And I know that. So like the smaller trades, I'm fine with. It just builds buffer. Plus, you also have to think about time-wise too. You can make $200 trading, but let's say you make $300 at your 9 to 5. So $200 obviously isn't going to change your life. It's not going to be hugely impactful. But you likely just made $200 in 30 minutes or an hour. $200 an hour is a hell of an hourly rate. So remember, you're trading your time when you get into trading. And that's the biggest thing. Most of us are in it to get our time back or get free time, be able to do things we love. Why set it to chart and trade all day if you make enough in the first 20 minutes? Custom NVIDIA today as well, hell yeah. But I don't know how to manage trim properly with 0DTE. Jeremy, I'm going to be honest, I hate 0DTE. Will I trade it? Yes. But if I trade 0DTE, I set a firm target like NVIDIA when I took it. My NVIDIA trade, I got in near the open on Friday. After the sell-off, I bought low, like 99s, somewhere around here. I had one firm target at 205. I sold the entire position at 205, closed the charts, walked away. I had like a 30-minute trading day, and I was done. I had no interest in taking anything else on the chart. Caught enough money, was good, walked away. It was an aggressive entry, but that's why I was on 0 days. And when I take 0 days, I'm willing to risk like 80% of my position. Chat, I'm not going to say the word in case there's like, you know, the bots that follow or whatever. But you're 3 away. If you know what I'm talking about, 2 away. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Rob, it's really easy to want more. And that's why some people, and you have to remember, do I typically take trades that are higher risk to reward? Yes. But you have to be willing to lose a lot more with that. There's people who would do better trading my strategy, which is very patient, finding an entry and have no problem sitting in it for hours, if that's what the market gives. There's also people who should be trading Allen style entry. It all depends on personality. Where Allen takes the trade, usually gets 1R to like 3R-ish, sometimes higher. But he's usually in and out of the trade pretty quick. Chat, to enter, all you have to do, exclamation mark, the word enter, and send it in the chat. I'm going to do 3 minutes. And you're good. What up, Dev? Allen probably has, yeah, Allen has a really high win rate. But you also need that when you trade lower risk to reward. He does amazing. How's the trade today? I only took the trade last night. And I haven't traded this session. A little bit of hesitation more so. Today, you just need to be aggressive on entries, and I just wasn't aggressive, which I'm cool with. Just means I'm sitting cash so far. I am, at this point, I'm a little interested in YM if it does want to get continuation higher. But it's just going to be a few things I'm watching throughout the overnight. I think there's still a lot of potential for the overnight. Gold's going to hurt. Gold's going to really hurt seeing it tomorrow. Especially if we get a bigger gap. So I'm hoping gold gaps up, but it doesn't gap up too aggressively. So I do think gold this week at some point can make a really strong move. Is the bot working? It should be. Oh, bot didn't work. Chat, do it again. If you type it again. What is that doing? Nope, Ollie, I didn't. But we're gonna pretend the bot didn't work. So now you have 3 minutes. What would that stop be? I'm not opposed to it, but I don't want to long the highs. Gold's doing exactly what we planned. ES did what we planned, just hit 95. So if anybody longed, you should be sitting pretty. I'm gonna be like 560s. Not terrible. I don't like 173 points though. Nice part is I know some of you guys caught trades off the analysis. KJD, don't put the space there. You have 54 seconds to correct that if you didn't enter already. But exclamation mark enter will get you in. Colroy, you just wait, brother. If you guys look here, I will probably run the giveaway a little bit longer, but it puts you in after. There's only 70 in right now, which is absurdly low for 170 viewers. So there's a lot of people that aren't in, but exclamation mark enter. I'll reopen it once it ends real quick, probably for another minute, and let you guys get in. It's good for me. It is, Dev. 2 hours away from max drawdown. Just got a great comeback. Hell yeah, most fab. I bet you guys do love your odds. But to be fair, I botched the entry in the beginning. So chat, I'll give you guys another minute. If you haven't entered already, exclamation mark enter. I don't expect a whole lot of more people to enter, but we'll see. Your odds won't change that much. But you have till this candle says 40 seconds left. On my stream, not yours. JJY, type the word. Exclamation mark the word, enter, and then send it. There you go. KJD, you spelled it wrong. KJD, you put a space in between the words. You'll get. I have faith in you, brother. You'll get it. One of these times when you type it, it'll be correct. Probably. If you got in the GC, congrats. I hate you. Me and you both, Digital. Me and you both. All right, chat, 10 seconds. What is the account? Lucid 25K. All right, that is it. Your guys' entries didn't even change that much. Newman Noms. I saw you type it in chat earlier. Are you here? You should be, but are you here? What up, KJD? Have you won before? I don't think you have. At least not on my streams. I know you haven't. Oh, you are a die-hard Allen fan. Love it. Mainly me and Allen. I'm here. Nope, you haven't. Perfect. All right. All you have to do, you've been on stream for a while, so I love seeing people like that win. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram. I'm getting my first ever prop firm payout. Hell yeah, Hassan. Congratulations, brother. Y'all are absolutely crushing it today, which makes it better that I didn't take a trade. But some days we're like that, you know? Overall trade thesis did work out after the initial pullback. I know some of y'all got in. Hit 95s. We're struggling there, which is the thesis. Struggle around here for a little bit. See if we can get continuation above or if we end up pushing aggressively back lower. If we push aggressively back lower, not the biggest fan of the range. Alan OG streamer, he is. What's crazy though is anyone who remembers Alan's first streams, he struggled with chat with like 110 people, and it was amazing to see. And now he's streaming every single day, no problems, to 500 plus. Just message you. Let me check real quick. You set up your Insta just for this channel, Rob. You'll get it eventually. Perfect. Just got your DM. After stream, I'll send you that code. It is a Lucid 25K Pro account. Oh, let me get rid of this. But chat, I'll probably wrap up stream in a few minutes around the 9 o'clock area, just because ain't much to do for me here after this bigger rally. Unfortunately, no trades on the session. I'll still be around afterwards seeing. We can do a little breakdown just of what I'd want to see. Of course, thank you for supporting and being here. We will get to 500 here as well. Dev, after the struggle bus I was on the last week, I'm not shocked that we were fighting numbers a little bit, but it'd be like that. Randy, I just want people to get in if they're actually trying. I know I'm saying this wrong, but Numinoms won. See you, Logan. All right, chat, what I'm looking at, we're coming into the hourly close. Stronger hourly thus far. See if we close a stronger hourly. If we do, we have 1 hour till the 4 hour candles left. If this 4 hour candle closes a failure to go lower up near the highs, I start to lean towards like that 500 to 520s. 520s wouldn't be crazy, even if we want to build out this range, right? Go here, retest the lows, hold, come back, retest the highs, build out the range more. If we get a broader continuation, I would be looking for a trade upwards of like 515, 520s. 515 is obviously the area we targeted yesterday, so I'm not opposed to targeting that again. But I still think there's good risk to reward to the upside. It's just if the market gives us that overall potential and entry. I think there's been a lot of good entries today. You just have to be a little more aggressive. Gold, obviously pushing. For my mental sanity of my options, I hope this doesn't push too far and I could get a re-entry. I'd be happy about it. But overall, I think the market's just going to be wait, see if we hold into the hourly close, which we have a minute left, and see how we react over the next hour into the 10 p.m. close. Pass. Appreciate you, Arch. You know of any way to have the London and Asia lows and high automatically show up on my NinjaTrader chart? Kinder, if they allow you to make, what's the word I'm looking for? Indicators. You can code it with Claude really easily. Everything you guys see on stream, I personally coded with Claude. I have zero IT background. Just ask Claude a bunch of questions, answer them, and bam. Blambo, I did intraday when we were up around here. I entered. No, might have been a little later. But I entered spreads with the 375s and 380 legs just because I think they are drastically mispriced. They are extremely cheap right now. We'll see where we open tomorrow to see if they're still cheap or not. But for 375 calls, they were sub $1. Like those spreads for a $5 return were 75 cents. And it's a 1.5 ATR move away. We wouldn't even have to get to the high of the range to be full allocation. So for me, it was well worth the risk there, especially trading off the daily lows. I am very open to getting back in those, depending on price action throughout the overnight. AXP, you did, brother. Just ended a couple minutes ago. But yeah, I lost like 15% on the gold options that I had, the spreads. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream there today. No trades. A lot of overall analysis, which worked out well for you guys. I saw a lot of you guys crushing it. A lot of good education talks, psychology, stuff like that. So appreciate you guys asking the questions. Solid stream. We'll see if we catch anything tomorrow. I'm still very interested in the overnight. Just look for overall structure. See if we can get continuation out of this range, maybe above 74.95s. If we stay within the range and get back into the open, I get a lot less interested in trade. I do. But a big key factor for me will be in 1 hour at the 10 p.m. close. See how that 4 hour closes. If it closes strong, just know there's a chance I'm looking to long it. But with that, you have a great rest of your night. Took some cons out till August. Blambo, I think at some point gold will make a larger rally. I would love to see it test 3,700 on the daily, but not yet. I think we can still range for the rest of the month, which leads the upside path of least resistance, but we'll see. Gold is a day by day for me. I think there is a shitload of opportunity on gold when it finally starts to move. But it hasn't moved yet, so we'll see. Anji, you got to watch that movie Evil Devil Burn. I watched it last night and stayed up on a Zing stream. AXP, what's it on? Yeah, most of I'd be happy with that as well. Give us an actual tighter consolidation and I'm ready to trade. What do you think about longs on NQ? I'm not overly interested here because we obviously have a clear resistance right above. Like I talked about before, I'm going to pay attention to all 4 indices, watch how they're reacting. If they all trend new high of day together, then we'd likely see that continuation. To me, risk to reward, if I didn't long here on NQ, I can't long here. I can't. I need more of a structure. Give me this. Give me a tighter consolidation here into the end of this hourly, into 10 p.m., the 4-hour close. Give me a strong 4-hour close, and I'll be ready to long, no matter what. That doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to be in longs, but I'll be watching for it. But XP, I'll check out that movie, Evil Devil Burn. I'll check it out. But y'all have a great rest of your night. Alan's on 1 a.m. Eastern. Y'all already know it. I'll be back on tomorrow. So I'll see y'all tomorrow.